Fat loss secrets. There's a lot of guys out there making different videos, and they're pitching supplements and dog hair in your mouth, and they're trying to, tell people, oh, the secret to fat loss. There's these dirty secrets. You can do stuff like taking ephedrine with caffeine and aspirin together. It's called the ECA stack, and you can still get it because you can get Bronchate at the pharmacy, or you can use albuterol. Get some albuterol or clenbuterol or whatever the fuck it is this week. And you can take these things, and you're gonna lose all this fat, or dirty fat loss secrets. Buy my product. First I'm gonna sell you an ebook, and then I'm gonna tell you in my ebook that you need to buy my supplements too. That's cool, man. I don't want to knock it a whole lot because, I mean, some of the stuff actually does have legit science backing it, like ephedrine, caffeine, and aspirin. That actually, there's medical scientific research showing that that does contribute to fat loss. But the catch is you have to be on a hypocaloric diet. Think about that again. Hypocaloric diet, as in you're not eating enough calories, you're under eating. Well, Chad, don't hypocaloric diets cause fat loss? Yes, they do. You will lose fat on a hypocaloric diet. So if you're not eating enough, your body will burn fat and you're going to lose weight. So why do I have to take this stuff that makes me shake? That's a fantastic question. Well, here's the thing. When you take the ECA stack, it just kind of speeds fat loss a little bit. But truly, when you check out the research, it's not that significant. What you definitely can't do is you can't keep eating garbage. Yeah, it doesn't work on hypercaloric diets. Sorry. It might stave off some fat gain. You might not gain as much fat eating junk food while you're on ECA, but you're certainly not going to be losing it. So you might not gain as much, but you're still going to gain it, and you definitely won't lose any. So what is the secret to fat loss then, Chad? Well, I'm going to show you some secrets real quick. So originally I was trying to narrow it down to 3, but then I decided I have to have 4. And they're 4 secrets that really aren't secrets at all, but they're secrets because people don't utilize them. So the very first thing, and this really is a secret, this is my mead composition book. I always buy mead. I don't know why. I am sure that there's some psychological problem with me for the fact that I keep buying the same book. But the thing is, and I like to throw my little stickers in there for my grass-fed beef, but I write down literally, you can't even see it, it's kind of blurry, but I write down everything that I eat, what time I ate it, how much of it I ate, everything like that. I even keep track of my workout in here as well, and I literally have something like 5.5 years worth of these notebooks. In fact, I think this December will make 6 years that I've been logging my food. I have been logging my food intake for a long time now. In fact, actually, I was doing it even before then. I was doing it in college originally, and I stopped doing it for a little bit, and then I picked it back up again. And so I've been doing it for 6 years nonstop now almost. This December will make 6 years. So, yeah, I always log my food. And like I said, I did it in college initially. I saw great progress. I gained a ton of muscle. I remember my girlfriend that I was living with at the time. Um, you know, uh, I used to get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning and torture her. I would lift weights at like 6 a.m. And I got up to like 170 pounds or something like that. It was pretty good for me. Just a very consistent overeating. That's how you gain weight. Like I talk about the clean bulking, but I wasn't overeating like ridiculously. I wasn't just chowing down on oh, I'm gonna eat a whole box of donuts and then drink like a 2 liter of Pepsi. So just consistently tracking it though. That's the thing. Tracking it, writing down what you eat, making sure you know what you're eating, how much of it you're eating, is the first secret to fat loss. Number 2, weigh and measure everything. This is my new scale because I killed the old scale. This one I think is an OXO. Yeah, it's an OXO. And the other one was a Salter. I don't know what's a good scale, what's a bad scale. I know that I paid like 20 bucks for this thing, and it gets used like 5 and 6 times a day every day. Um, pretty good investment. I also have a scale in my bathroom that I weigh myself on, and that gets pretty regular use. I think I've had that scale for probably like 7 years now or something like that. Spent maybe $20 on it, if that. I'm not gonna pretend like it's not like it's calibrated or something. It's not like it's an official scale that you would use for a weigh-in, but it gives me a ballpark. I know, if that scale says I'm like 160, then I'm probably somewhere between 155 and 165. Close enough. Um, I'm not about precision on my body weight, but it is nice to buy a little better scale, because these guys do. This one does grams, and it's pretty accurate. So I can measure my food out very, very specifically. And so if I know I want to have, 100 grams of chicken, I'm going to have exactly 100 grams of chicken. If I'm going to have 500 grams of, lamb, I'm going to have 500 grams of lamb. So I'm very meticulous. Very meticulous. And I'm probably OCD. People probably watching this video like, dude, this guy's crazy. But you know what? I'm OCD about everything. So it's just who I am. I keep track of all kinds of numbers in my head even. My brain is always going 1,000 miles an hour. So this isn't unique. So log everything, weigh and measure everything. Next trick. If you don't like the notebook, you can even use this for that. Got my cell phone. And what you can do is you can get an app like MyFitnessPal, or I think FitDay now has an app as well. And so if you don't know the calories in something, just look it up. Boom, just type it in there. Someone else has probably already done it for you. If you go into MyFitnessPal and you type in like 6 ounces of ground beef, I guarantee somebody else has entered in 6 ounces of ground beef. You can find your macros in there, and boom, you can track your macros. Me personally, I like to write down what I'm eating, especially when I'm doing the clean bulk. I will eat by feel. So whenever I'm really hungry, I eat more. Whenever I'm stuffed, I run the numbers. Okay, when I'm stuffed and I'm like, I can't eat another bite, I will take my ounces and stuff like that, everything I wrote down, I'll punch it into my phone, I'll figure out the macros, and I'll figure out how much more do I have to eat today, which sometimes is more than you feel like, because sometimes you're like, okay, I've eaten 5,000 calories today and I need to make it to 8. That last 3,000 calories is going to be a fight. So you do something really creative and stupid, like taking, I don't know, cream cheese and putting it in the blender, with some Quest bars, and it never turns out well. And then maybe put like some yogurt in there, some Greek yogurt, and some kefir or something like that. And you just try to cram as many calories as you can into this giant blender that you have, and you buzz it down, and you're like, yeah, I can just drink this. And you take a couple swigs of it, and you're like, oh my god, I feel like I'm going to float away, I'm full. And you still have like 7/8, I don't even want to say 3/4, you still have like 7/8 of it left to drink. Not the way to do it, but sometimes it's a means to an end, right? You have to eat, 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 eat until you put the weight on. So fun. Anyways, so notebook, log things, scale, weigh things, cell phone, use your app, and then last but not the least, not it doesn't have to be Applegate grass-fed roast beef. Doesn't have to be that, but what is important is this guy right here, the food label. Start paying attention to your food labels. This guy has 3 grams of fat with 0 carbs and 12 grams of protein, but then you need to keep in mind that there's 3 servings. Now this is really like a half serving. I mean, who only eats 6 ounces of ground or roast beef? 6 ounces of roast beef? That's like, that's a joke, right? Like, I can't get over the fact that these packs don't come in anything bigger. They should start as a pound. But in any case, so 6 ounces of roast beef here. You got 3 servings, so that really means you have 9 grams of fat and 36 grams of protein. And if this guy has 80 calories per serving, you've got 240 calories for this guy right here, which it's okay, consider that it's only 6 ounces. The bottom line is, right? What are you getting at, Chad, here? Well, what I'm getting at is that as much as it sucks and I don't want to pretend like it doesn't, okay? You have to make a habit out of counting your macros, counting your calories, counting the ounces, grams, whatever the hell it is that you want to track even of what you eat. Okay, if you want to track all your food as, ounces, go ahead. If you want to track all your food as grams, go ahead. And to be totally honest with you, I'm not even that crazy about calorie counting. What I would tell you is create a baseline. So eat normal for like a week or two, figure out where you're at, start writing things down. Okay, well, it looks like I eat about 2 pounds of meat a day, and I eat about a pound of potatoes, and I eat about another pound of vegetables. Okay, good. There's your start point. From there, you either just add or subtract. So you say, okay, I'm gonna start eating a couple more ounces of beef, or I'm gonna start eating a couple more ounces of potatoes, or I'm gonna start eating a couple less. You know, I'm gonna eat fewer ounces of potatoes. Um, just make that choice, right? So if you want to go up, increase the food. If you want to go down, decrease the food. It's that simple. There's your trick to gaining weight, losing body fat even. Slight caloric decrease, slight increase in activity level, boom, magically, now you're dropping fat. This is not rocket science, but apparently it is, because I tell people that I log my food and people look at me like, you log your food? I'm like, yeah, I log my food intake, and people are like, why would you do that? And I sit there, I'm like, well, because then I know how much I'm eating. It's like, I never thought of that. Okay, well, food logs are really useful. I don't know what to say to you if you've never heard of it. And it's always like this uncomfortable conversation I have to have with people. Mind you, I'm talking about people that are not athletes, or they're just average Joes, which there's no such thing as an average Joe, but for the purpose of our conversation in this situation, I'm talking about people that are generally sedentary. Generally sedentary people. People who sit at a computer all day long, and then, then they want to work out for like an hour a day, and, maybe just improve their body composition. They're not trying to get on the stage. They're not trying to compete on the field. Those people are often surprised by, why would you track your food? Well, especially when you're in a weight class sport, you track your food because you got to stay in your weight class. Um, so in any case, that's it. Those are the secrets. Can you use things like ECA? Can you use things like albuterol, clenbuterol, DNP, all that stuff like that? You can. I don't want to say that you can't. I'm not. I'm not here to battle any of the other YouTube experts and be like, hey, listen, that guy that said that you could use, ephedrine and caffeine, he's full of no. It it'll work as long as you're on a hypocaloric diet. But you can't take enough pills to cancel out what you're stuffing down your throat 24/7. I mean, if you're sitting around eating nothing but donuts and ice cream, guess what? You're gonna get fat. And I don't care how much Broncaid and Dunkin' Donuts coffee you chug, um, it's not gonna cancel out. Like, people are like, oh, what do you think of bulletproof coffee? I heard you make you lose a little bit of fat. Yeah, it'll make you lose fat if you replace other calories with bulletproof coffee, and then you're still hypocaloric. I don't know where people think that these free passes come from. There's no free rides. Um, there are no free foods either. These diets where it's like you can eat all that you want. You can eat as much as you want as long as it's not fructose, which is bullshit. So in any case, now everyone knows where I stand on that one. But the bottom line is, it's really quite simple. And the secret is really just being consistent about logging things, tracking things, paying attention to the numbers. It's a numbers game. That's honestly what it is. And it shouldn't be surprised, because if weight is a numbers game, right? I went up in weight, I went down in weight. Why wouldn't your food intake, be a numbers game? That's all it is. It's just numbers. Sometimes you have to resign yourself to doing it. I know it sucks. I know that it sucks. I can't persuade you or pitch it to you in a way that makes it sound fun. It'll be so fun to count your macros and do some math. Didn't you love math in high school? But there you have it, and it works. That is the difference. I can promise you that counting macros and keeping track of your calories works. Whether or not buying the random supplement with brown seaweed extract in it, and I don't know what's the other thing Dr. Oz pitches, raspberry ketones or something like that. So yeah, you can go ahead and buy those raspberry ketones and brown seaweed, but it probably isn't going to work for you, because you just it's not going to cancel out a bad diet. So